Good morning and welcome to your transmission at Net2 Television. Of course, we are situated at Zongo Junction, Medina, and it's time for the dialogue. Of course, today is none other than the Financial Friday, and as usual, Mr. Christian Donko and I will be having a very extensive discussion on financial matters and, matters relating to the economy today. Today is, of course, we're going to be very educated. There is an outstanding question for myself that I'll be seeking a response from him. But for your information, Mr. Donko is already seated. In a moment, we will introduce him formally and the discussions will begin. The show is The Dialogue, and I am Paulus Isaac Clote, sitting in for your smooth babyface assassin, Owuahene. Today he's slightly indisposed, but he'll be joining us hopefully on Monday. But just before we go into the nitty-gritty of the show, be reminded that the COVID situation in the country is gradually increasing or is getting serious by day. Previously, we only had just about 72 cases as at the time the president lifted the restrictions. But today, as we speak, in fact, as at June 13th, the number has risen to over 1,000. Actually, it's 1,064 cases currently. So please, let's go back to doing what we used to do well. That's adhering to the protocols, sanitizing our hands, putting on our face masks. I have mine in my pocket. As soon as the show is over, I'm going to put it on. So without wasting much time, my colleague, Abna, will be seated. Then we'll get into the discussion Okay, I'm not too sure if my colleague Abna will be seated. We'll go straight to chit-chat with Mr. Christian Donko. But before then, let's take a look at the front and the back pages of the various newspapers as we have them. To kick off the newspapers I have today, we have the Ghanaian Times newspaper, and on its front page, government secures $24.9 million loan for agric mechanization plants. As you can see on the screen, government secures $24.9 million loan for agric mechanization plant. 5 foreigners grabbed for selling unwholesome products. SNIT rolls out electronic scheme to ease payment of contributions. 538 physician assistants and anesthetists inducted. That's the front page of the Ghanaian Times. At the back page, Accra Tema motorway opens today after completion of repairs. But my person on the ground, Kwesi Ninsin, tells me that the Accra Tema motorway has already been opened this morning. Maybe Kwesi will join us with reports from the ground and tell us what actually transpired. Support You Start Initiative Program to Succeed. NYA CEO, that's the National Youth Authority CEO. He's saying support You Start Initiative Program to succeed. So from the Ghanaian Times, we shift our attention to the Daily Guide newspaper. Opuni moves to halt trial again. It's another front page story. It's the banner headline story for the Daily Guide newspaper. Also on the front page of the Daily Guide, Wontumi secures order against Efia Shwa, and Ato ACN fails to stop trial. NPP's borrowing better than NDC's. I think this and other matters, Mr. Christian Donko will be helping us understand why NPP's borrowing is better than NDC's, because all borrowing be borrowing. Joyce Blessing's husband denies video. That's on the front page of the Daily Guide. The back page is dominated by sports stories. Friday night tennis tournament bounces back. FIFA boss predicts best World Cup ever, salutes 32 participants. Ghana's World Cup winning chances slim. And the final sports story, Vagina Stadium set to host Qatar 2022 games. I'm not making it up. You can grab a copy of the Daily Guide and look at the back page. Vagina Stadium set to host Qatar 2022 Cup. Finally, the Daily Graphic is our last port of call. And plug loopholes in procurement process. Che Mensa Bonsu to MDAs. That's the ministries, departments, and agencies have been urged to plug loopholes in procurement processes. Repair works on motorway completed. Right. Like I said, our reporter or our man on the ground has confirmed that the motorway is actually completed and opened to traffic. Turning our attention to the back page of the Daily Graphic, Abdul Manaf Nuruddin is the new kid on the block. Well, after saving a couple of penalties in Japan, it looks like Abdul Manaf is our favorite goalkeeper now. Right, so these are the newspapers as we have them. Much question on the Christian. You see